Sir Emmerich, what are you doing here? Hello, I am Immotus of the Evyx Guild on Gilgamesh server. Today we're going to be going over what I think are some of the better ways of earning MGP in the Gold Saucer. My theory is the less amount of time and effort I have to put into something with the greater returns, the better. Very lazy. I don't like to grind out a whole lot of MGP and put a whole lot of effort in for low returns. So yeah, we're just going to go through what I think are some of the better... What is this guy? Listen, we're going to go through what I think are some of the better ways to earn MGP that you should be doing weekly and daily. And it'll help just gain the profit so you can buy the fun stuff. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, to start off with, I'm not going to be talking about how to unlock the different things in the Gold Saucer how to do, as pretty much everybody that plays this game is aware most things are gated by the blue plus sign, quest sign, things, you know, and as an example, like Luana here, this is for the fashion report. Now, I've already done all of them in the Gold Saucer, so there's no more for me to do to give as an example. Pretty much just do all the ones in the Gold Saucer, you'll unlock everything in here. They're not too bad to do, they're pretty quick to get through, and then you'll just have access to everything you need for doing the challenge logs and the other little things to gain MGP. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is just the challenge log. It has a bunch of random little challenges in here for the Gold Saucer that you can do to get extra MGP, most of which you'll probably run through anyways if you're doing stuff in the Gold Saucer to earn MGP, so just nice little bonuses there. Some of the games like Triple Triad, I only play Triple Triad for the challenge log, but some of the other ones have nice little extra bonuses like Verminion. I don't play Verminion for the challenge log, I play Verminion for the tournament. I'll go over that a little bit later. But it's just a nice little bonus and or just goal for getting MGP to go through. And yeah, so it's worth having for sure if you don't have it already. Google challenge log unlock. It's pretty simple. It's in Gridania. And we'll go from there. First thing we're going to do is start with the mini Cactpot broker. Okay, so first one, mini Cactpot broker here. Basically right click, purchase mini Cactpot ticket. He's going to say some crap down here, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay, you're going to hit yes. It's going to be like a scratch card. The goal is to find out what pays the most on here. So number 6 as an example pays 10,000. You always want to go for number 6. The line has to be 1, 2, 3. So the goal is to figure out what line here might have 1, 2, 3. You might get a card that doesn't have 1, 2, 3 on it. You might get a card that at most pays out just a couple hundred. But if you're lucky, you know this card would have 1, 2, 3 on it, pay out 10,000. So I like to start off by going with numbers that are close to the 1 and well, in line with the 2, so you can figure out this line cannot be 1, 2, 3. Now I know this line cannot be 1, 2, 3. This line has a potential to be 1, 2, 3. Because the other lines are obviously used up, that middle card could be a 1, let's go for it. And it was a 1, 2, 3. That is perfect example. The goal is always to go for that 1, 2, 3. If the 1, 2, 3 you can rule it out from being a potential card, then the option is going to be 6, 7, 8. The 6, 7, 8 will pay out the 3,600 as well. In this card here, we know that this is the only one that has the 1, 2, 3 potential. Just gonna go for it again. Nah, it's just 108. It's fine. You know, there are Cactpot solvers you can look up online that'll give you your best odds if you really want to min-max this. And it'll tell you that, yeah, no, this line over here, because of what it can pay out, is technically better than going for the 1, 2, 3 or the 6, 7, 8. Typically not, though. Typically going for the 1, 2, 3 is just fine. And let's see. See, now we know for sure that there's no 1, 2, 3 on the board. And the only option that would be 6, 7, 8 would be this one down here. So we're going to go for that. Look at that. Just like that. 7, 8, 9, sorry, is the one you want to go for. It's the 24. 6, 7, 8 is 21. Still 1,000. Typically, if the 1, 2, 3 doesn't exist, a lot of the higher payouts are on the farther side, so you want to go for the higher number ones. So things that have like 9s and 8s are pretty good to go for, because then more than likely they're going to have one of the higher payouts on the extreme side here. And that's pretty much it. You just play it 3 times in a day, you get your payout, and that's it. Max you can get per day is 30,000 if you get 1, 2, 3 the 3 times. If you're extremely lucky, more so if you have the buffs, I suppose. And yeah, that's it. It's super low investment for time. Takes, you know, all of 2 minutes to do 3 cards at most. If you use the Cactpot solvers, it takes a little bit more time, but you can get I guess, a higher payout percentage. Not really worth even opening up the website to me. You just go for the 1, 2, 3 or the 7, 8, 9. For those that want to do the Cactpot solver, this is how it kind of works. I'm sure we can put a link somewhere down below. Basically, you'll start off with the number that the scratch card gives you. Let's say this one gave you a 6 in the corner by default. So highlight what square it thinks you should solve for next. You click on it in game, whatever number it gives you, you fill it on here. Then you'll do that for the other squares that are highlighted. So this one wants us to do on the corner, so we'll click on it and it gives us a 7. Then it'll say click on the top one up there to rule out what the next one's going to be, and it'll give us let's say it gave us a 1. It'll say your highest payout chance is going to be the top one, because for 1 it has the 1, 2, 3, so it's going to pay out the 10,000. Otherwise it'll pay out by averaging out the rest of these chances are and what they would pay out. So it'll tell you, it'll highlight the row that it wants you to select in game on the scratch card, gives you the best kind of payout averages. Yeah, that's all it basically is here. It's always just gonna go for the 1, 2, 3. Rule out the 1, 2, 3. Rule out the 7, 8, 9. That's gonna be the quick and easy way to do it. Hey, the next one that we are going to go over is going to be the Jumbo Cactpot. Unless you are a very famous WoW streamer, you're gonna want to use the shard to go to the Cactpot board. Now I've already bought my ticket, so I can't show the exact process here. But the goal here basically is just a lottery. You click on the Jumbo Cactpot broker. They will give you an option to buy some cards. You can buy up to 3 cards with 4 numbers. The way it works is it goes by the last number first. So if you have the last number match, it'll pay out 5,000. If you have the last 2 numbers in your card pay out, it'll pay out 52,000, and so on and so on. Typically, honestly, you're usually gonna get the consolation prize of like 1,000 plus, somewhere in there. My goal with this is to always have the cards have differing last numbers. If your cards have the exact same last number, you might win 15,000 if you get that last number, but more than likely you're going to get the 1,000 over and over. If you have 3 cards with different last numbers, you have a better chance of at least one of them getting that 5,000. So it's typically a better chance of getting at least a slightly higher payout. Very little time to invest into getting it on here as well. And yeah, you basically just do this once a week. This is another one that takes all of 2 minutes to do, and weekly you'll get, I don't know, 3 to 8,000 is what I'm kind of averaging right now. Okay, so the next one we're going to go over is going to be the fashion report. Every week, basically you glamour yourself and dye some of your gear to meet a certain criteria. You'll get points based off it, and then you get paid out like 60,000+ MGP. So fairly low effort, you know, you might have to go buy some gear, so you might have to spend some gil. It's still pretty good though, getting MGP. It's probably the second most popular thing for gaining MGP, or the second like highest return for what you need to do to get MGP. So let's see, confirm this week's fashion challenge. The current theme is Woodland Whimsy, Natural Beauty, Friends and Footloose. Now, it's going to give you hints about what to do here. I don't know what any of these mean. So if you go over to Reddit and you search fashion report, there is somebody named Kyoko that does these weekly fashion reports, and they will tell you straight up what the best things to go for is going to be here to get like the easy points. So easy 80 points, that'll get you 60,000 MD. You need a stablemate's hat and any dyeable leg piece dyed with this bone white dye. They'll tell you what you need to do for the 100 points as well, which gets you like a title and stuff as well. But most of the time, yeah, the easy 80 points for the 60,000 is all I'm going to be doing here. So I already have one of these set up on my Astrologian. I'm going to go Mass Rose, click, confirm this week's fashion challenge. Yeah, okay, that's fine. I don't know why I clicked on that one. Present myself for judging. Yes, judge me. Judge me. Well, would you look at that? Okay, anyways, how do we get out of here? See, this is taking too much of my time here. This is why. for having this and this. These other ones, just all random gear that I was already wearing. So, there here. See, this takes my time up. See, this is why. This is lower than number 1. If it wasn't taking up so much of my time, it'd be number 1 on the list, possibly. But now we're out of here. You know, that's the 50,000 I just got for this, and the 10,000 for the. So there's 60,000 just like that. Okay. Here we are. And that's all you basically do. Buy some gear, glamour it on yourself, come and get judged like a piece of meat, and get paid. Okay, the next one I want to talk about is Verminion. This is extremely underrated, and in my opinion, once you unlock tournament mode, it is weekly, probably the best for getting MGP. With practically zero effort, you can guarantee yourself close to about 65,000. And by zero effort, I really do mean that. The hardest part is coming down here to register for the tournament. That is the effort that you need to do. I'm gonna show you how this kind of works. So you register for the tournament. You do master tournament. It'll be against an NPC. As soon as you join, you'll queue into it right away. Okay. This is the quick and dirty way of gaining yourself 60 to 65,000 every week. Okay. Skip the cutscene. You get in game. You get the wait. The 15 seconds. Okay. 15 seconds on top for this start. That's it. You just have to wait for that. Once we wait that down, we're going to forfeit. By forfeiting, what that does is it gives us a loss. We're going to do retreat. You get 10 points for losing. You get 20 points for winning against an NPC and 10 points for losing. By getting those 10 points and putting yourself on the tournament ranking board, I have one win, so I'm a little higher than last place, but even at last place is Dusty Bees. Right now at 10 points last place, probably going to get about 63,000 MGP. So just for doing that, you'd earn yourself that much MGP. If you play more and you win more and you get yourself up to like the top 5, around top 5 typically pays 100 to 120,000 MGP. So weekly you could double the amount if you actually put some effort into this one. So that's where I think this is probably one of the more profitable ones, because getting 300 points, you can play 15 matches with the NPC, beat them each time and get 300 points. It takes probably 20 to 30 minutes to go through, and it's not that hard to do once you figure out how the system works. And yeah, you get about 100,000 MGP. It's really, really good. But yeah, even if you don't do that, even if you come here and just forfeit immediately, you're going to get yourself like 60,000 MGP just for being on this board. You saw how quick that was. It was faster than anything else you can do here. Just get in there, 15 seconds, forfeit. Okay? Don't not do this. This is so easy for the MGP. It is ridiculously easy. The next one we're going to talk about here is going to be Minigames. For the most part, all the Minigames in the Gold Saucer are pretty much trash as far as where it comes out for MGP payment. Spend $1, you can get back $10, $25, or I think it's $5, something like that. So you get really, really crap returns on these. They're really just a gimmick. Don't do them. They are just trash. There is one that is good though, and we're going to go find it. Before we get to that next one though, I just want to stress, this is trash. This minigame is trash. Monster Toss? Trash. Crystal Tower Striker? Crystal Trash Striker. Don't even do it. Don't do it. Stop it. Stop it right now. This minigame? Trash. Okay, I want to talk about Out on a Limb. This is the only minigame that is actually worth kind of playing. Based off the zone on the first part here that you pick determines how fast the second part's going to go. The payouts are greater if you have one of the other zones, but they're a lot harder to control. So the goal is to actually just get anywhere on the green to have the slowest version. The payouts aren't very much, they're not very different if you're on the faster zone or not. But when you're on the slower zone here, it's so much easier to control that you can get 400 MGP just about every single time unless you really mess up. So that was really good luck. Basically, this thing's going to go around and around, and you have to find the excellent spot, the great spot, or the good spot to make progress on this bar at the bottom. Whenever you hit a spot, the progress will go down, and eventually once you drain it, excellent's a one-shot kill basically, so as soon as you hit the excellent, it's all the way down. great takes about, I think it's 3, and then good takes like 5 or 6. The goal is to just focus on greats and excellence, and then you use the areas that give you nothing or give you good as guides towards where to hit for the great and excellent. I'm going to hit no on this for now and kind of go through and explain how the zones kind of work and what the theory and the goal is for how to do it quickly, because once you complete it once, you can double down and get extra GP from it. So you basically just like keep playing, your timer stays at where it was, and you'll just get a higher GP amount as you go down here. I'll show how that kind of works here. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. So yeah, now I got 100 MGP. If I double down, it'll be 150. Now there's 150. The next double down after that is 400, and that's the one that we always go for. I'm going to stop no for now though, because I'm going to show kind of the theory behind how to do it efficiently so that you can always get that 400 MGP. Okay, so this is relatively what the size of the zones look like. The excellent zone is fairly small. On either side of the excellent zone are great zones that are a little bit larger. And then there's the good zones, which if you hit them, they give you a little bit of progress. And then there's going to be a bunch of blank space on both sides. Now, the way this kind of works is that that bar can be anywhere on this line to the excellent zone. Which means on the extreme side, the excellent zone could be on the very, very edge, as you saw in that last piece there. And when it's on the very, very edge like that, you have the great and the good zones on this side, but then yeah, the rest of it you can't hit. So this is like the extreme where it can be. Otherwise, it'll just be somewhere on this bar, and you'll have the good and greats on both sides. So it looks kind of, the zone can be anywhere basically where this is moving right now. It could be any of that, anything that you see right there, be in any of those spots. Once it's set, it doesn't move. This is just to kind of showcase where that could potentially be. Okay, we're gonna get high tech with some MS Paint here, so I can kind of explain what my goals are here. When I first start this, I spam click this button because the starting area point's always gonna be at the top here. So I want to rule out that the great, the excellent, and the good zones aren't in the beginning here. Okay, so I always try to aim for somewhere around here. So by spam clicking it when it starts, I know I'm getting about this area. What that'll tell me, if I hit it, it tells me that the great, the good, the excellent are somewhere within this kind of range. It's not a very big range, and it really rules it down, and I can get through this next hit very, very quickly. I know that if it's not here, that even if the next zone starts about here, that the good and great and excellent, the great and excellent aren't going to be for another little bit. So I typically try to aim for about these zones here. These are typically the distances that I aim for when I'm stopping the marker until I get it hit on a good, a great, or an excellent. So once you hit on good or excellent or great, you just have to kind of aim for the greats if you get the greats already. Don't try to like move for the excellent. There's no point really. But if you hit good, then you want to move another, like, you know, a couple centimeters down just to hit the great zones. You want to readjust until you're hitting at least great. If you hit excellent, that's great, you get through. I mean, if you hit excellent, that's excellent, not great. Yeah, these are kind of what I aim for. Start off here. If you hit something there, then you know it's only going to be in this little area. If you don't hit anything there, you know the next little gap here, that foot gap, isn't going to have anything. So you can just move on for a good distance here and hit here. If there's nothing here, then you know for another gap that there's going to be possibly good or nothing, so you don't have to hit in that area. You just keep hitting down. You give it these gaps. There's about quarter sections that you hit on each one. And that'll really rule it down to where you need to hit. And then once you hit in those areas, you have to adjust and fine tune a little bit while you're hitting it to get great spots. So let's go through that in the... Okay, since it'll probably make more sense watching it. We're going to go for the green zone. And I'm just going to start spam clicking this and start off. So it starts off somewhere in the top. I know it's not anywhere in the beginning. So we're going to go down a little bit. I just happen to hit excellent. Because I know this gap here is going to be, at most, that gap is going to be good. You know, or it's going to have nothing. If it has good, then I know great and stuff like that's going to be around this area. So that's why I put that big gap in there before the next hit. The second thing that I like to do is I actually take this and I drag the yes over to on top of the button. So that when I spam click the yes, I just have to spam click the button, which I didn't do there, but it worked out fine, I guess. So I'm just gonna go for great because I hit it already. We already know where it is. I was off quite a bit there, but still great. So excellent is probably actually right here, because we see the greats on both sides here. The greats typically not that far, so the excellent was probably right in the middle. I got lucky that the great was down here instead. Let's try spam clicking one more time here. Yeah, so spam clicking, ruled out the top area, go a little bit farther down, ruled out that area, go a little bit farther down. We know it's actually great already, so we're just going to go for that area a couple extra times here. Okay, so we still have 30 seconds to hit another double down. The next double down is the corner payment. So spam click, rule it out, so nothing there, okay. Drop down another good chunk here. Oh, we found the great already. So now we're just going to go for that area. Oh, we hit good there, so we know that went too far, so we'll go down more this way. So we still have 15 seconds. We could technically go for the double down. You want to have 16, 17 seconds in here. That's kind of the maximum or the minimum you want before you try anything again. Otherwise, you'll probably fail it and lose everything. If you don't finish it, you do lose everything. So typically just at the 400, just stop. It's only a $100 difference, 100 MGP difference if you continue anyways. So just by doing that, you can do that over and over and get a bunch of MGP this way. You know, every 2 minutes basically you can get about 400 MGP by just doing that same strategy over and over. So we're good somewhere down here. So let's go a little bit farther down. Excellent. So we know that that gap there is good, so a little bit farther down is going to be great or excellent down here. Let's do it again. Move that over, hit yes, spam the button. Look, we know it's great over here, so I'm just going to keep spam clicking now to get the same kind of area over here. The reason why we go for this area first is if it is here, the amount of time it saves by finding it that quickly and just spam clicking is immense. You save so much time by just getting it out through that area right away. So that's the whole reason I spam click on that area, is you rule out that area so quickly, and it's so much easier to pinpoint where the next stuff's going to be. So by there, I hit here, I knew there was nothing, so I knew the next zone was going to be either good or nothing. So I hit around here, around that middle point again, so it's like kind of the sectional, right? You do those kind of sections there, and wherever it hits is kind of where you start. You feel it out from there, but yeah, you just go for the great. Once you do it a couple times, you'll start to get the hang of it, and it becomes really easy to kind of roll out. See, that was too far. It could still be up in here. Oh, we're lucky though. It's down here, so we're not wasting really any extra time here. Not that it'd be a big deal. We had tons of leftover time anyways for it. You know, could have done it up here even if it was up there, but there you go, 400, just like that. You could do that over and over, keep getting 400. If you have the buffs, you know, you get even more MGP for it. It's just free, but it's intensive because you're doing it every second basically. You're doing stuff here, so it's really low return for the amount of effort it is. But if you're in between stuff, you have nothing else to do, pretty good farm. Talk a little bit about gates now. Gates are one of the ones in the challenge log where if you just complete a bunch of them, you'll get a bunch of extra MGP. Pretty much what you want to do is just run around the gold saucer until you find the gatekeepers. It happens every 20 minutes at the hour 20, and hour 40. You talk to the gatekeeper, it'll ask you if you want to move to the gate. Hit yes, there you go. So there's multiple different types of gates. There's going to be platformer styles. There's going to be duck hunt, which is the one that we're going to be doing right now. I call it duck hunt. There's a mechanics check one, and then there's just a pure RNG one. They pay anywhere from like 3,000 to 7,000 MGP. And they're pretty quick to do still by themselves, even at that. Most of them take just a couple minutes to go through. We'll do the this one here. This one here is really nice because the targets pop up. If you click on the target, it registers it right away on the game side. So even if like the bad targets go in front of it while your bullets go into it, they'll still register you hit the target. So as long as you don't click on the bad one directly, you'll be okay. You'll see what the bad ones are in a second here. Pop up, I'm sure. Yeah, so like that one there. So if you click on the bad one, you lose points. If you get perfect points on this, I think you get 4,000. If you lose any points at all, you get 3,000, and then it goes down from there depending on how many points you lost. Typically, I only miss 1 or 2 at most. Typically, it's more so me clicking on a bad one by mistake that I lose points on. I only get 3,000, but typically you can get the full amount of points pretty quickly and pretty easily on these. Just avoid clicking on the bad ones. Really straightforward. Not really any easy or like quick and dirty way of getting through these. They just kind of are what they are. You just do them. You know, you just play along basically. Play along. Takes a couple minutes to get 4,000 MGP and call it a day. I think this one is like Duck Hunt to me just because of how it doesn't matter where the bullet is when it gets to it. It's just a matter of if you click on the target or not. So it's very much just like instantly scanned, and it tells you right away if you got it or not. Regardless of what the bullet actually does after it flies over there. There it is. So pretty quick gate for the Air Force One. Got 4,000 MGP. And the other ones, the jump ones are a little bit harder. There's some tricks to do the jump ones a little bit easier. The mechanics check one is based off of bosses later on in Stormblood. A little bit harder to do, but if you follow the group or if you learn how those mechanics work, it's not too bad there to clear. And then there's just a pure RNG one where depending on where you're standing, you'll get blown off or not. And you can't really do anything about it. You just have to be lucky. That's all there really is to the gates. You just do those once every 20 minutes until you complete your challenge log, or if you just want to keep grinding the MGP. A good combination would be like doing the mini game, the Out on a Limb, and then doing these in between whenever these pop up. Pretty much double your MGP made during those times there. So you can go from, I don't know how much MGP the mini game makes, but you basically double it by getting an extra 4,000 every 20 minutes. Because I think I did the math, and you get about 4,000 every 20 minutes, every half hour, something like that, doing the mini game that way if you really grind it out. Okay, Triple Triad I'm actually not a big fan of, just because it requires you to be a little bit more involved to make sure that you pass and win stuff. Especially because the challenge log, you don't really get a lot of MGP for doing the games themselves, so you really rely on the challenge log or getting in the tournament and doing the tournament. But again, it requires a little bit more involvement and brain power to do that. If you're doing just a challenge log, come to this Jonah's of the 3 spades in the gold saucer, and just beat him into the ground. Just beat him 10 times. It's fine. It's really not that hard to do. Just get yourself like a good starter deck. Just Google like a Triple Triad starter deck, or just use like recommended. After you play through the game, you'll get a bunch of random stuff here anyways, and typically the cards you get are a lot better than what he has. I think the goal is just to get more of your colored cards on the thing here by the end of it. Not totally positive how some of the other rule sets work. There's some rules where if you play one card and the sides add up to the other sides, some bullshit flips other cards. That's why this guy's really easy, because it's I don't think he has any rules like that. Typically he's fairly easy to beat. So yeah, just play your cards. Your cards will have like the 4 numbers. If you try to play your higher numbers, if they have like a corner that they could win, apparently that's a goal. That's what I kind of go for. I don't know if you saw that, but just beat this guy down to the ground a bunch. That's all I do. That's all I do. Click recommended, gives you whatever your cards are going to be. So this A and 8, that's a really strong card because the A is like the highest number you can get. So these ones are going to be hard for him to beat me on. Same with like the 9-9 here, right? So I know these 2 spots aren't going to be able to beat this guy really. If I play the 8-8 right here, and know that he won't take those at all. Let's see, the 668. No, that'll probably take this one here. 8's probably fairly safe. You can see his cards as well and just kind of do the math yourself, right? Without even looking at his cards. And so, yeah, you just crush this man. Crush him to just the pits of despair, and finish your challenge log. The least favorite for me is going to be these Chocobo races. They take a while to go through. You have to do 20 of them to get like some of the decent payouts in the challenge logs. You have to win 10 Chocobo races, which is a lot of effort if you actually try for it. You know, Chocobo races are garbage, trash, they're laggy. I'm not a fan at all. But again, if you're just doing it for the challenge log, you know, go in there. Maybe you'll find it fun where I don't. It's fine. It's an extra source of MGP. I typically do not do it through the week, but again, it's just MGP. If you're really trying to min-max, just do it. You'll get your extra MGP. Yeah, it's pretty garbage in my opinion, but that's just my opinion. Okay, another potential spot of MGP is going to be the Wondrous Tales. Basically what it is, it's a log where it'll give you a bunch of different things that you can do. So if you go through, you complete dungeon level 51 to 59. This will get marked off. You'll get a random sticker for it in one of these random sticker spots. You don't know which one of these lines up to which stickers, so you don't know which sticker you're going to get when you complete one of these. It's basically RNG. The goal is to get up to 3 lines to get the max payout. If you get the max payout, it is 1 million MGP, but the chances of getting 3 completed lines is extremely low. Google Wondrous Tales if you're curious about it. It's not a really good source of MGP, it's just another little bonus source. And it's for stuff that you're probably going to be doing through the week anyways, because dungeons and trials and stuff. So yeah, it's worth having, I guess, just because. And the other things you can get from it are pretty good too. You know, the other bonuses and payouts are good. You know, it's good to do, but yeah, not a reliable source by any means. There is also Mahjong on the challenge log for just playing games. You know, it says participate in 2. It doesn't say anything about winning. I don't know how to win this game at all. I've never won a game. I don't understand this game. Somebody needs to teach me this game. I don't know shit about this game, so I'm not even going to cover it. I can't cover it. To me, it's more worthless than the Chocobo racing just because I don't understand it. That is about all I was planning on covering for the Gold Saucer. Those are kind of the go-tos for gaining MGP through the week and through the day. If you want like a Cole's Note version of what to do, too long didn't read, do the mini Cactpot, do the Jumbo Cactpot weekly, do the Lord of Verminion tournament weekly, do the Fashion Report weekly. Do those 4 weekly, you'll get, well, probably about 200,000 MGP, maybe a little bit more. That's kind of close to what it is, depending on how much effort you put into them. That's kind of what I'm seeing right now. If you're doing bare minimum effort, you're getting about 150,000 MGP. But yeah, if you put a little bit more effort in, you get about 200,000 off of those weekly. If you do some of the other mini games, or if you do some of the gates and stuff like that, you can get more than that. Again, though, those would be my primaries: mini Cactpot, Jumbo Cactpot, then Verminion tournament, and Fashion Report. Those are the quickest, least effort, kind of highest turnaround MGP that you'll get paid out. Everything else is a little bit more effort. Chocobo races are garbage, and that's that.